Lesson 3-1, Solving Systems of Equations. Objectives. Solve systems of linear equations with the graphing calculator. Let's take a look at some problems we did before, but now we're going to use the graphing calculator. We want to solve this system, and what we want to do is solve for y. We need to solve for y because that's how you enter it. So let's go over here to our calculator, and you press y equals here. If you have anything in there, go ahead and clear it. I am going to put a negative and use a negative symbol, not the subtract symbol. 5, and here's the variable key, plus 4. I'm going to go down to enter my second. Remember, solve for y, and that'll be my variable x, subtract 2. Okay, go ahead and press zoom because we don't know how your screen looks, and we're going to choose 6 for standard screen. That's going to be a -10 to 10, -10 to 10. Here are our two lines, and here's where they intersect. The calculator will tell us where that intersection is. It's under calculate, and that's blue letters. So we're going to press the second, and then we're going to press the button, and we're going to get a menu. We want 5 for intersect. You can either go down or press the number 5. And it's asking, do you want to use this as one of the lines on your intersection? We choose enter, and then it says, do you want this red line as part of your intersection? We choose enter, and then it says, can you give us a guess? In other words, take the right arrow and make the cursor a little closer to the intersection. Press enter, and there's our answer. And this is the answer that we got before, 1, -1. Okay, let's move on to the next graph. And the next graph, we're going to press y equals again. We're going to clear. And I have solved for y over here. This has a fraction. Let me show you how we use fractions. We have to put them in parentheses, and then the negative symbol, 1 divided by 2. Clearly, you could use -0.5 if you wish. X plus 4. Move down. And we are going to put, again, the parentheses. Anytime the coefficients of fraction, put it in parentheses. 1 divided by 2, parentheses, x plus 2. Now, I know my graphing screen is -10 to 10, so I'm just going to press the button graph to see the two lines being graphed. And at this point, I want to find the intersection, which is under calculate, second, calculate. I want to go to 5. They're saying, do you want to use this blue line? Enter. You want to use this red line? Enter. And then we can use the right arrow to get a little closer to our intersection. Press enter. And the answer is 2, 3. That's what the calculator says. That's what we got before. Next one. Let's go ahead and press y equals. We're going to clear. Go down. We're going to clear. Up. We have a fraction again, so I'm going to put parentheses, -1 divided by 3. We want to keep the accuracy, so don't do any rounding. And then plus, you don't need to write the parentheses for the b part or the y-intercept, 7 divided by 3. We're going to arrow down. Again, we're going to put parentheses, -2 divided by 5, parentheses, x plus 2. We're going to leave at our screen the same way that we found it last time, and we're going to see what the graph looks like. Now, it looks like the intersections are right around here. I would like to see more here, so I'm going to, instead of going to -10 on the x-axis, I'm going to go to -20. Instead of 10 on the y-axis, I'm going to go up to 20. So I'm going to go over to Window, and I want to do -20x. I want to see more on the left, and then I want to see more above, so I'll write 20, and then I'll press 20, and then I'll press graph. So I'm going to see more of the second quadrant. I know things are happening in that second quadrant, so I want to see more of that. And again, it looks like the red line was above and then below, so I know the intersection is somewhere here. Second, calculate. I want to choose 5 for intersect. Yes, I want to use the blue line. I want to use the red line. And don't worry about moving it. It's close enough to the intersection. Press enter. And we get our intersection, which is what we got before. Let's go to the next one. Y equals, and I'm going to clear. go down, clear. Now this problem is a little bit more difficult in that the numbers are bigger, but the calculator can handle that big fraction. First I'm going to write the first one, which is opposite of x plus 48. Those are our chairs. And now here's the cost of them, parentheses, negative 265 divided by 320, parentheses, x, and then plus, and give it that whole, don't do any rounding, 13930 divided by 320. Let the calculator do the work. Now I'm going to press zoom. Well, I'm just going to press the graph the way it is. Remember, it's a little lopsided and I don't see anything. And the reason I don't see anything is because this was the answer we got before. We got 2622 and we only go up to 10 and we only go up as high as 10. So we're going to have to change our window. I don't need to see that much, so negative 10. And then I want to see a lot of positive x's, so I'm going to go to 50, go down here. Negative 10 is fine, but I want to see a whole lot of positive y's, so that's 50, and then press graph. And here's our equations that we couldn't see before because our window wasn't good. So this looks like the intersection, second calc. I want to go 5 for intersect. I want to choose the blue one, yes. I want to choose a red one, yes. Don't worry about moving anything, it's close enough to the guess. Enter, and there's our answer, 2622, and that's what we got before. Last one. This is where we want to tell what the lines are doing. We're going to go y equals, we're going to clear, clear. Again, the hardest part is to solve for y because the calculator always has to have that solving for y. Parentheses, 3 divided by 4. If you want to write 0.75, that's okay. Plus 2, and then we're going to go down to parentheses, 3 divided by 4, parentheses, x plus 3. Now we have to go to zoom because remember we had that awkward screen before. So I'm going to go to I'm going to go to just standard screen. Oh, which I pressed 6. And there's the blue one, that's the first one. And there's the second one. Notice they have the same slope. So before we said they were parallel, and now they really do look parallel.